Again, we have Partisans waiting to ambush. That's going to be pretty... Yep, there they go. Partisans advance on the Panzer Grenadiers. Hello everyone, this is Greyshot17, and today I'm doing a 3v3 on Angermunde. Angermunde. I got it right the first time. Anyway, this 3v3 is submitted by a patron of mine. These patrons help support the channel, help it grow, and help support making content. But anyway, this includes 369, Wizard, and Bozzyfist versing Radma, Johnny, and Malam. 2 OKW, and 1 Austria versing 2 Americans, and 1 Soviet. So, yeah, it should be pretty interesting. We already have Fallschirmjäger. Very curious to see how that goes. And then the complete... let's see. What are we looking at? Oh, just base Grenadiers? Really? Okay, I figure on this map there might be a small deviation, but no. Bozzyfist just going with that. Okay. Now we got Sturm Pioneers. Oh, double Sturm Pioneers. Okay. Moving on in. And 369 moving in Volksquads, Sturms, and a Kubel. As a reminder, I also take replays from fans in general. Submit to my Discord and my Gmail, or my Gmail down below, and I'll take a look. I usually do replays on Sundays between 9 and 12 a.m. to 12 p.m. Central Time. Double Sturm moving on in against the Echelon and the American Rifleman. Johnny pulling on back, getting the cover. Echelon, again, in good position, able to open fire and do some damage. Rifleman still pulling back, waiting for reinforcements, I assume. I love the Echelons, like, just shoot him! Just don't stop! Rifleman up coming in bulk. Again, I like how, again, he waited, brought him in. Hasn't lost a single model yet. Okay, there we go. Echelon did, but Sturm's already lost 2, and that's way more important for them to lose some models. Rifleman opening fire, pushes back 1 Sturm squad, switches out the Echelon, sends it back to base, and the Rifleman push forward. More Riflemen coming down in, and I would say that was a decisive victory for Johnny in mid. Left-hand side, we got ourselves Radma trying to do what he can, but unfortunately, even though he has a bunch of Riflemen, the other OKW's not going as, you know, forward-facing. He's being a little more defensive in nature, trying to hold out for as long as he possibly can. Meanwhile, Volksquad's being picked apart by the Rifleman, by Johnny. Good job there. Meanwhile, we have a very defensive Malam as with an MG, conscript, some mortar. So far holding Bozzyfist back in his relative position. Now, he's not going to be able to push to the star as of yet, and that will probably allow the allies to get a 2-to-1 VP advantage, and that would really and seriously put the pressure on them to, well, start taking some additional VPs or lose the VP point war. Now, if I may, so right now each side is equivalent to each other, but we do have Panzer Grenadiers coming out, and if they flank, they can do a lot of damage, and the Soviets don't have a immediate counter to it, so we'll see how they fare. Maybe some mines or something, but if the Pioneers can see it, hopefully they can identify it. But good mortar hit on the Pioneers. Grenadiers coming on in, but they're a little bit weaker. So it should be interesting to see, but I don't think they're going to win with the MG here. Again, smoke would have been good. Moving up the MG maybe. We have a flare, so the mortar knows what's coming. Dropping smokes, maybe the conscripts will launch an assault, or maybe they're just trying to make sure they don't get suppressed moving, or hiding maybe a key mine or demo being placed as well. That's also possible. Or, more likely, Malam getting a flamethrower unit and burning the MG down. Yeah, it seems reasonable. Oh, Malam went partisan tactics, so Partisans coming in from behind, flamethrower, forcing Bozzyfist forces to pull back. Meanwhile, again, we got ourselves 369 and going elite armored, so, oh, he actually has a 221 on the field, and it's doing quite a bit of damage. Johnny in full retreat after it looks like the Volksquads held their ground pretty well. Medical building set up. Decent location. It is on a main road, but the main road in front of it is so long and so narrow that it would be very, very unlikely armor would advance, because pathfinding would slow them down, I believe, as well as the fact that they could easily be picked off multiple directions. So, anyway, forces over here are holding firm, gaining additional reinforcements, and weighing a counterattack using Johnny's ambulance to gain strength while a captain comes on in. So again, allows for howitzer, or in this situation, an AT gun to be brought up. Johnny is also gunned with heavy cavs, so some Rangers may use their Thompsons to blast the Germans outside of the buildings and get in a building and tear them down as they get close. Or Pershing, good at killing infantry. And like I said, Milan with partisans, so he's doing a fairly good job on right at demolishing the enemy. And remember, these partisans are different. They're upgradable, so you can upgrade them to however you prefer. Again, I find that interesting. And again, so far, I've heard very positive things about the partisans in general, about how it's used depending on how you upgrade it. And to be fair, that makes more sense in my eyes, because you can then use less commander slots and have something else to use. So, I don't know, I like that little addition. Even if it's just I think it's the AT gun ambush that you get. Alright, maybe I'm thinking of something else, but I swear it's the AT gun. Meanwhile, 221 and Kubo are holding firm. I'll give 369 this. He's at least holding his star. MG moving on in to 34. Not too potent, but could hold a bunch of these riflemen back. Sturm Pioneers moving on in with Volks. Again, do they have a trick up their sleeve? Because all I'm seeing is infantry. We have the medical facility, and they can reinforce from it. They're in good cover, maybe a incendiary, but instead he's going for the STG-44s. Again, unfortunately, Sturm Pioneer does get picked off. Excellent pick by the rifleman. Actually, look at all these infantry. My God, they're just swarming around. The Volk squads don't stand a chance at this rate. American infantry with bars are now flanking. Volk squads are trying to hold out as long as they can. Riflemen might be in a bit of a sticky situation, but they do pull back. Again, I do love how many infantry right now are opening fire. Just look at all these guys. Anyway, Volk squads will reposition. I'll give credit where credit's due. 369 is still holding this key area, even with their constant reinforcements. Though for how long that will last is really up to 369 and Wizard, unless they bring up support guns, or a flak half-track looks like is going to be brought up. Fallschirmjägers are being deployed. They got some good units, but we'll see how effective they are at combating all the American infantry. Meanwhile, Panzer Grenadiers force the partisans back, so no, the Terminators are not invincible. They can easily be defeated by some more powerful German infantry. Panzer Grenadiers easily push back the mortar pit. Oh, speaking of power, yeah, because I just, so I watched two things completely separate from each other before doing this. I watched a movie about terrorists taking over a plane, and Vampire also is in the mix of that, protecting her child. So it's weird. It's like Taken, but a vampire on a plane, and it's great. Then, anyway, that's German film. And then there's He-Man, the first 5 episodes, which I'm like, never a big fan of He-Man, but I'm like, alright, let's see how this is. I'm like, oh, it's the animation of Castlevania. Oh, they're going with the same art style. Oh, they have Mark Hamill Skeletor. Oh, they're trying to flesh out all the side characters. Okay. Again, I feel like the second season needs to really then focus on He-Man a bit more. But I'm like, I see what you're doing. I'm seeing what you're doing. You're building up to maybe a powerful conclusion or something. Or it could backfire immensely. But again, we'll have to see with part 2. But overall, I thought it was good. Not as good as Castlevania. Seriously, check out Castlevania. It's awesome. Anyway, there's my movie or TV show moment as units are dying or on fire, or both. But Volk squads get picked off by the bar troops, which are chilling in the fire. More reinforcements are coming on in. Again, Bazooka Team hiding this. They almost take out the ambulance. Again, if they can neutralize it, that'll be a big win. Unfortunately, it doesn't look like it. It does look, however, that AT gun will burn to death, unless I'm mistaken. Will he actually live? Oh my God, he's so lucky. Those troops aren't. Oof. Overextension leads to annihilation in this case, as the infantry get pulverized by the American bars. Oh my God. But again, I do like this player. 369 at least anticipates that they're not going to keep advancing, and that's something that in a lot of multiplayer games, you're not going to just simply push the enemy back. There will be a counterattack that forces you back just because of the sheer amount of infantry they're sending at you. Unless you have something good, or you're just a great tactician, like I am not. I'm definitely not that. But here's the thing. in this situation, he's laying down mines. So if the enemy comes back, they take some severe damage. And right now, we can see here Johnny, and it looks like... yeah, Ranma, both do not have... oh, mine. Oh, if he could have stayed there, he could have killed the captain. But yeah, no, that could have been good. That could have been seriously good. Anyway, forces are pulling back. Ranma, I'm sorry, has gone tactical support. So Calliope is likely, which is good against blobs, or also, again, has some nice little strike, which I've had, unfortunately, used against lighter vehicles. So we'll see how well that goes. T-70 very close to detonating a Teller mine, if that T-70 moves up anymore, which would be a big loss for Malam, but unfortunately Malam is not taking the bait and charging, which, again, would be great. Also, we do have Shrek team. We have another guy going normal. But yeah, no, looking pretty good. One last thing on movie stuff, and I'll get back to this, or TVs. Is there any show or stuff like that that you've recently seen that came out this year that you would recommend? Again, Invincible, Castlevania, a lot of good stuff. But if you have anything, leave it down below. I'm actually kind of curious. Always looking for a new good show. Anyway, Pack pushes back the T-70 flamethrower outside of the range to hit the MG. MG and infantry are pushing on them, but here's Johnny coming in with the bars to really do the damage, and I'm serious about that. This one's done 14 kills already. Okay, make that 15. But yeah, no, seriously, excellent work by Johnny's forces. Meanwhile, we have Ranma's forces really trying to push against 369, and specifically in this case, Wizard, trying to hold the line. Again, looks like they do have support equipment to try to hold them back, whether, again, the flak is still alive and suppressing, where the support guns can just cause the damage while they're in cover. Fallschirmjägers, though, 9 kills. Excellent job right there. But yeah, very curious to see how things go. Very curious. Anyway, right now we got rifleman, a captain, actually a lot of forces. We got the major, so Sherman's about to deploy onto the field. Alright, so Johnny's looking to get the first medium armor of the game, it looks like. Again, because so far the OKW, we have one base kind of guarding this area. And then we have... I'm trying to see what Wizard's doing, but he hasn't deployed that yet. Also, the Fallschirmjägers are holding firm. Unfortunately, Half-Track might perish here. American infantry is charging on in. They get another AT grenade. It could be the end of it. Again, here's the AT strafe. Oh my god, you can use an AT strafe against it. I mean, it would have worked. Did suppress the Stern Pioneer squad. Cool Air Force run. At least it, would have finished off just in case. So, I mean, you don't have a ton of munitions right now, but hey, not a bad idea. Volk squads are opening fire. Oh my god, Fallschirmjägers are tearing him apart. Not torn apart as much as Alucard or, any of the main cast of Castlevania does to anything else. Or, Isaac or anyone. But still, very few things will reach the gore of Castlevania in a very good way. But what we could see is a lot of gore coming out of this Sherman as the German infantry try to push. Now, unfortunately, Fallschirmjägers no longer have the Faust, so they need AT. We have a Raketenwerfer coming on in, multiple Fausts being fired at the Sherman, so at least it should be, engine crit. The question is, do they have something to finish it off? Raketenwerfer is in range, I want to say. Blob is moving on in. We have a couple of spare units. Meanwhile, we have the pack over here. Again, Flare coming up to identify key targets. American infantry is holding them back. Sherman under fire, but looks like they're hitting the high wall rather than hitting anything important. Jackson's also here. Again, the Germans just don't have the range to see that stuff, otherwise they could fire. MG, though, is protecting against, chase against the Raketenwerfer, while, unfortunately, once again, these riflemen prove exceptionally difficult to hold back. Fallschirmjägers are pulling. You're putting a Panzer headquarters very close to the front, and also you need to make sure the main gun's facing the enemy. That way it's a little more proactive and making sure they can neutralize that stuff. That's me. That's where I like putting it, because I want that flak to immediately fire upon the enemy as soon as possible, rather than having a short period of time where I could wait. Meanwhile, Wizard is still holding out. You have the base, right? Okay. And you have that. Okay, so you have 169 fuel. What are you buying? What would you buy? I'm assuming you won't buy a Panther because that's what 369's picked. Even though I actually kind of think a Sturm-Tiger would be really good in this situation, just because of the amount of infantry in a close environment. But I can see the Panther deflecting shots and at least holding firm in certain areas. Plus, remember, a Panther at the very least for 369 could be good because he has Panzer Commander, call in artillery, and help get rid of hard choke points to allow the Axis to advance. Fallschirmjägers, again, 3 of them really trying to push the Allies back. And they are successful, but they need the AT support as the Sherman opens fire upon them with high explosive rounds. Again, they're getting the upgrades. Solid idea, but unfortunately that Sherman is tearing apart the infantry. 10 kills already. Jackson coming on in, hitting the infantry, but again, not all that effective. For Kenwerfer at least providing a little support. Meanwhile, big push. Great kill by Malam. Oh my god, this... I feel so bad. Basil Fist. Oh, the Panzergrenadier squad, it has to be remanned. And, hold on. He has 235 fuel. What is he doing? Right? He has all 3 buildings. He doesn't have the upgrade. He has to go for a Tiger, right? He doesn't have a Tiger. I am so confused. What are you going for? Because, look, an elephant in this situation is not going to help because of the amount of infantry, right? It's just not... I mean, like, it's great. In theory, an elephant on this map is great because of the long corridors, but it's also not great because of the amount of infantry that you're forcing, not armor. Sure, there's a T-70 and T-34, but you're predominantly fighting armor, and you're really not going to break that. So that leaves what? Artillery? I mean, sure, already spam. You could pump out a few of those. Or command tank, maybe? I don't know. But we'll see. Anyway, med supplies. Looks like they're waiting to push. They're waiting to do something at the very least. Panzer headquarters holds back the infantry. Immediately Johnny jumps in. Small push coming in by Basil Fist against Malam. Again, we have Partisans waiting to ambush. That's going to be pretty... Yep, there they go. Partisans advance on the Panzer Grenadiers. And they have PPSHs. They're going to do quite a bit. Panzer Grenadiers force back, and the Partisans win the game. Excellent work, men. Nice little ambush maneuver. Picked off a Grenadier squad. Basil Fist, although, has a ton of manpower. But again, killing veteran units, always a plus. Pushing back the Panther. Let's see, Fallschirmjägers again, pretty high up. This is where Panzer Commander really would need to be used in order to neutralize like the AT gun. Although they have, they have 3 anti-tank units. You have the 2 AT guns and a Jackson. Sure, the Sherman's there, but it's on, what, high explosive rounds? Yeah. That's what they're focusing that on. They want to kill the infantry. And I get it, Fallschirmjägers are a real pain. So you definitely want to deal with that. Smoke's dropped as they advance. T-70 trying to figure out a way through. I don't know if they... Did he detect the mine? I'm not sure. Maybe the mine exploded. But it doesn't look like anything died. Did anything... Did any armor die? No, no armors died. So we detected the mine. Alright, meanwhile, they're trying to figure out what to do. Alright, nice grenade. Oh, flare went off, so it looks like the Soviets even planted mines around the building just in case. Again, recon's overhead for the Americans for maybe a bigger assault. Grenadier might be picked here. They did go Faustov, but they need 2 Shreks to land on that guy. And can they do it? Well, you only have 1 man left, so probably not. And a Panther is being made. I'm seeing a lot of Panthers. Although, to be fair, at least Wizard has a Jagdpanzer. How about... Oh, well, there goes another unit. Poor guy. Oh, wait. Can the Fallschirmjägers kill the rifleman? Oh, my God. They're focusing on the other unit. They should have killed that rifleman squad. Hold on. Can you kill this right? There we go. One of the major riflemen causing Wizards a lot of pain is neutralized. Pershing immediately driven back. Excellent hits across the board. Jagdpanzer is also forced back. And right now... has a unit that can heal, but it itself needs healing. Panther coming in on the Partisans, who just do not care against this. Again, a Pinto machine gun would really help. But right now, it looks like this right flank is at odds. But middle is under Axis control, which means allies are starting to lose points now. Again, finally some pressure is being done against the allies. Population-wise, we're looking at an army size of, let's see, mid-60s to... Yeah, I would say probably upper 50s for the Axis, but that's still pretty close. And now we have something to deal with the infantry blobs, the Werfer. Do we have a Calliope? No. We have a Sherman, though, and we have a Jackson, and we have another Sherman, and a Pershing. So the Allies have a ton of good armor choices at their disposal to deal with the enemy at hand. It's really how much AT do the Germans have. And right now you see the Panther, Jagdpanzer, or Raketwerfer, which is trying to kill the AT gun. Smart move by Wizard's part. Smoke coming down. Smart move on Ranma's part. Again, trying to keep that section alive. So, excellent job there. Great. Oh my god. Yes. That's what they needed. A mortar and support gun tag teaming and absolutely annihilating the enemy. Anyway, they push the enemy back. Armor is again injured, so at least the Axis are playing a good defensive game, all things considered. But again, now we have a Calliope, so we'll have to see how long they last with that thing on the field. Meanwhile, again, the same cannot be said with Brazil Fist, who slowly lost territory. He really needs a good Werfer, and looks like he got 9 kills, so that actually did achieve it. He hit this whole area. Unfortunately, it looks like after killing a lot of conscripts, the Soviets did the thing they do best and just, well, got a bunch of men. They got a bunch of men to just reinforce the entire sector. Yeah. MG trying to kill the AT gun, but artillery doing what it does best. T-70, I like the flank. I like it a lot. They're flanking the MG. Putting pressure on the T-70. Conscripts, though, are lying in wait. Double AT grenade might pin it. AT gun would then need to run over, maybe the T-34. But again, that's a lot needed to bring down a Panther. Like, you would need a lot of good shots on either rear armor or something. Plane crash misses the MG there. Looks like Calliope removes some of the defenses there. Almost Dotton on the field now. Wizard still has his Fallschirmjägers, though. And more are dropping. Dude, that's... Oh, wait, nope. He lost one of them at the very least. Hell of a combat drop, but you live, so I guess you learn from Crete. Meanwhile, again, all the allied armor is right now healing up. We still have AT. I don't know if this is going to be enough. Oh, they knocked out the AT gun. Jagdpanzer, maybe a good opportunity to neutralize that. Support gun coming on in, helping against the Major. Driving that back. Alright, Panther and Jagdpanzer and Raketwerfer, I think. Maybe Raketwerfer. Get some good shots in the Sherman. Close to finishing it off, but again, I think they need recon. Where's their infrared half-track? Do they have that? No. Infrared half-track would be perfect because they can see really far down the line. It would help them give sight. Again, it doesn't go through buildings anymore, but it's super, super solid. Panzer Grenadier Squad dies. Recon is provided to help neutralize Brazil Fist forces. Werfer's up to 15 kills. It's definitely impacting Malam and making him burn through a lot of his reserves. He still has a good amount, but it is something I'm taking notice of. Is he's spending a lot of manpower to hold this front by the constant Werfer barrages. Another good hit that wipes a unit or two, and he might have to be in a position to fight or pull back. Because otherwise, I don't think he's going to stay for too much longer. Almost Dotton driven back. Again, a lot of American infantry. Let's see here. 13 kills. Johnny has 2 units left. 24 kills. You have Rangers with bars. Why? Is that a thing? Why bars? Why bar? Chat, let me know. Is a Ranger squad with a bar good? Like, I'm not... Like, I would assume Thompson's would be great in this situation. Alright, and there goes Ranma. So, a disconnect. Alright, right now, Allies are pretty solid, though. Again, this might be a position where really it's just kind of figuring out what to do. Because, again, the AI is going to charge in like they're doing. But if the Axis fall for the trap and immediately jump on in, being like, oh, he's gone, maybe they can get a kill on the unit. But it looks like the Fallschirmjägers and the Volk squads neutralize the Jackson, neutralize the AT gun. Right now, Johnny is falling back to the ambulance. Again, in a very weak spot. A good barrage or a good push by infantry could wipe a lot of units very low on health. Good bundle grenade by, I think, the Panzer Grenadier squad. Although, on the right, you can see here that not looking that great. 369 could deploy a Storm Tiger. That would be amazing right now. Because you could easily deal with any... Like, if the infantry come, you just blow them up. It's great. T-34, very low, needs to pull back. Katusha, also very close to the front. If the Germans had recon, which sucks because I know he does. He has this. He can scout out. Anyway, looks like we have a King Tiger on the field. Wizard is deploying a Panther. Very curious as to why he's... I would... If I was him, I would get a King Tiger for Wizard. For 369, I'll get the Sturm Tiger, if I'm going to be honest. Katusha is seeing the region, driving a lot of the infantry back. Again, this is a very key position because if they can keep the Germans back on this side, they can come over here and flank the other two German positions, which are right now heading off against Johnny in a pitched battle for mid. Right now, again, the Allies just need to hold on for a little bit longer. We'll see how long they can keep holding on. Yeah, we still have Fallschirmjägers, though, trying to assist. Calliope is heading left, along with a lot of the AI's forces. Again, not much over here, but I don't feel like this Panther's just coming back. We'll just let him be over there. Especially if there's mines, and they hit said mines, which I feel like that Sherman's about to. No, it actually exceeded expectations. Okay. Oh, wait, it's going to... Oh, please back up into it. Come on, AI. Turn around into the mine. Oh, no. Stop teasing me. Stop teasing. Go. Come on. Yes. No. Yes. 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 I feel like I'm being blue... Oh, there we go. I'm like, am I being blue-balled here? Am I honestly being blue-balled by this thing? Like, seriously, I feel like I'm being blue-balled. But anyway, so this thing is damaged at the very least, and I feel like 369, if he was in a good position, would push left. Panther is hit by something. Maybe an AT grenade by some infantry. Whatever the case may be, this Sherman is definitely screwed by a King and a Panther. And remember, those Panthers have heat rounds. So again, they can do a lot of damage. And I mean, the King does too, but this guy has it active. We have an AA half-track on the field, which, again, great hit. They're coming on in, and I feel like we're about to see an entire army get annihilated. Right now, Johnny is trying to push him with the Pershing, but having a real rough time coming on in to provide any assistance. Again, good defensive line by Wizard as he goes to deal with the other army. Again, God... Again, solid defensive work. Again, the biggest thing right now is the fact that Malam really doesn't have much in front of him. He saw Steel to Werfer, of course, but he doesn't have a direct army ahead of him. It's kind of just barren, a little bit, like a no man's land almost. Panther, again, neutralizes a lot of the AI's forces. AI is down to pretty much nothing. I feel like nothing is a good statement to have in this situation. Now, again, right now, the big situation is the fact that Johnny lost mid, so it's about 3-1 VP-wise. I still think that there is a chance that, how do I put this in the nicest way possible? There's a chance that we could see some more devious actions in mid. Again, if the Allies really wanted to cause havoc, you get howitzers, white phosphorus, constant, what is it? Can you do... Oh, no, they have no abilities. I mean, like, major strikes, but they don't have anything like that. Yeah, so they would have to rely on, like, mortar carriages and Katyushas for that position. Look, right now, Malam is set on his side. I don't think that his ally is going to really pose that much of a threat. He's, unfortunately, still being a nuisance, but, I mean, Malam is trying to uproot him and push him back slowly but surely. But, meanwhile, over in mid, Johnny's contending with 2 players right now and having a real bad time. Johnny does manage to decap the point, but again, 369 and Wizard are right there. especially with some solid infantry. And the riflemen are under fire from the King Tiger and Fallschirmjäger. Yeah, they got annihilated, unfortunately. Vet 4 Fallschirmjäger. My God. Anyway. Yeah, they're being the Terminator. That's Malam's best unit. Well, Mortar is actually doing pretty solid. The Katusha as well. Anyway, sorry. Push going in against the mortar carriage. AI oh my God, AI, you dick. That's a dick move by the AI. He's like, sorry, you're not coming this way. You're not machine enough for me. And yeah, he just got annihilated by the Panther. So good work there. Meanwhile, AI sends one Sherman to, you know, do something. Unfortunately, it's going about as well as an Italian commander during World War II. If they were appointed because of nepotism or bureaucracy or, you know, because of one's own friends, doesn't typically go well because they're not usually fit for that role. They're just given it to as a promotional spot. Yeah, so unfortunately, yeah, this guy is acting like he has no idea what to do and gets annihilated by the Panther, which barely a scratch. Anyway, King Tiger moving on in. Reshlon very low on health. Oh my God. Warfer? Over here? Where's it coming? No, I have no idea where it's coming. Anyway, 2 VPs are under Axis control right now. Again, it's going to need to be a big swing if the Allies push back the Axis. Or it's going to need to be a long grind the other way around. Good bundle grenade hits the infantry. Again, the infantry are weaker. King Tiger is heading left for some reason. Actually unsure about that. Why are you not focusing mid? I hear a Stuka bomb. Oh! Okay. I forgot you had the Stuka bomb, to be honest. Maybe it's just because you've been pushed back the entire time, but it looks like he did a little damage to Malam. Again, Malam still has a good amount of resources under his belt, because getting a half-track now, and he's still 600 manpower almost. So yeah, doing pretty good. Again, the flare out, throwing recon, so he can at least see what's going up, and sending his T-34 to deal with the miscellaneous forces. Fallschirmjäger's trying to hold mid, but Pershing doing its best. Again, not a lot of kills. 13? Really? I mean, like, this infantry unit has 34. Come on, Pershing. Start living. Start killing. You know, do something to actually, you know, be worth it. You know, because it's not like you were in World War II all that much. It's like, we got the Pershing, guys. Oh, well, the war's pretty much over at this point. It's kind of like, was it the IS-3, was it, that got paraded in Berlin? It's like, look at our fancy tanks we used to beat Germany. It's like, no, you just made those. Those really didn't see any major combat, or like didn't. But we are seeing a T-34 dive, knocking out a Werfer. I would say that's the major combat. Panther having a rough time. Where is Brazelfist? Oh! Oh, no. He looks like got annihilated. I'm actually unsure where his Panther died, but hey, good work killing it. T-34s as well, back on up. Again, good little push by him. Meanwhile, what the frick is going on? Armor's advancing. Johnny's taking full advantage of it. A marked target's now in effect. On who exactly? Oh, the Panther down here. So that way they have sight. Meanwhile, Panther goes down because of, well, Jackson fired down range on a free unit. Pershing hitting it as well. I'm seeing a dead unit very, very soon. Again, they're opening fire, pushing back the king. Again, allies right now are holding firm. Again, AI's been annihilated, but Malam and Johnny both are in the 80s. Axis, though, except for Brazelfist, are in the low 70s. If you add in him, he's like upper 60s, but still, you add in the AI to the on the allies side, it's about even. Fallschirmjäger's, though, coming on over, trying to push back a lot of Malam's forces. Jagdpanzer as well. Vet 4! Jesus Christ, the veterancy on some of these German units. Again, new Panther by Brazelfist. This might be actually a situation where I actually prefer artillery. You can put it like back here and have it open fire on this region, just cause hell for Malam as he advances or tries to. AT guns here. We have a lot of T-34s. Grenade by the partisans did one model is worth of damage. Again, they're trying to hold out. They're trying to do what they can. Again, it's one of those situations where I'm just curious to see how you're doing with the infantry. Panther's not really designed for it. Smoke, nice. Oh, Jackson's coming on in. Partisans, though, moving up as well. Nothing really hurt the armor. Katusha was in a good spot, but just don't have anything. Bundle grenade gets thrown on the border. A little bit of damage. T-34 is advancing. This could be the spot where they get taken out at. Panther is now being overwhelmed. Again, Jagdpanzer looks like it's going to be overwhelmed. Again, simple flanking maneuver, but the tight corridors are really not helping the Germans or providing them any favors. Panther is unable to kill anything. Pershing coming on in. And they surrender with their armor defeated. Interesting. They had enough resources, but I guess they just saw how the wind was blowing and like, yeah, let's not prolong this battle. I know how this might go. But yeah, 369 still had his king. So I guess he saw the enemy and was like, oh, we're not willing to fight anymore. So, okay, touche indeed. But hey, that's going to be it for the main match. And I do want to say thank you. And that thank you goes to the person who submitted this game, which was, and again, very kind of Malam for submitting this replay. Thank you for being an awesome Patreon supporter, man. Thank you so very much. But anyway, let's look at this game and the details in just 1 second. It's so nice to be able to like exit this and actually be able to pull up the info at the end screen without it crashing or lagging. It's like what I wanted from COH2, which it did have, and then there was a patch and it kind of messed it up, and then it got better, and then now it's fixed. So all's good. Anyway, overview. We're looking at top damage going to Johnny, and that makes perfect sense. His Jacksons were on point. Pershing provided a good amount of fire support. His infantry annihilated a lot of the infantry, and that's why he also has top kills. But thank you to Malam, who got second in both, for submitting me this game. Top damage on the Axis side goes to Wizard. He had good Fallschirmjägers, and overall had a good solid defense with the Jagdpanzer over the Panther. But yeah, solid, and again, a good KD overall, where actually, no, I take that back. Actually, 369 had a better KD. Fair. Although, to be fair, he did kill a lot of AI units, so maybe I'll use that against him. MVP units, we got the Panther, Brazov, an Exterminator for the Panzergrenadiers, even though he did produce a lot of them. Jagdpanzer got a number of kills, and again, Fallschirmjägers did a good amount of work as well. Panthers, top damage on 369. Ranma, 23 kills with the Rifleman. Interesting. Johnny got 22 kills with the Pershing, so a little better. Surprised the Riflemen aren't here for the amount of kills they got, because again, Riflemen, if you look here, they got like easily 12,000 damage. Oh, I'm sorry, my mistake. They didn't get 12,000 damage. They got like 11,600. So, and then compared to that, the Pershing got, let's see, 12,000 roughly, and then you're adding that, so about 14,700. So again, for the Riflemen, pretty good amount of damage, all things considered. And Malam was the T-34 that was excellent in the flanks and did a really good job at neutralizing all the armor, artillery, and infantry. Again, even though you're in a tight corridor, use your flanks. There's still flanks that you can use. But yeah, no, that's game. Again, thank you so much for supporting the channel. Actually, to a lot of the people down there, from Radma, Johnny, Malam, in their own separate ways. So thank you all for your support. Thank you all for watching. This has been Greyshot17, and I'll see all of you next time. Hey guys, before you go, let me give a special shout out to Aphyria, Folkvard, Joey G240, Malam, Ace, Tony B, Ion, Little Koosh, Samuel McKinney, Seth Coopers, and Jacob Oswald. Thank you guys so much for your awesome support and generosity. If you guys want additional content, check out the links above. Otherwise, I'll see all of you next time.